easy Easter biscuits. So nice, simple Easter biscuits. Now these are a sweet treat, but sometimes it's good to deviate away from chocolate sweet treats and think about some of the other things, and equally get involved with the baking. So here's some ones I made earlier. I've made some small ones and some big ones as well, and they taste really good as well. So I'll talk through how to make these with you now. So I've got a large mixing bowl here, and I've got my different cookie cutters at the moment. I recommend probably a 5 or 6 centimetre cookie cutter, which is my blue one. So I will get that out now, she says. There we are. Okay, brilliant. So into a large mixing bowl then, I want us to put 250 grams of unsalted butter. So I've got that here now. It's nice and soft and ready to go. So pop that into the bowl. In it goes, and I'm just going to pop that to one side. Into that, I'm also going to add 160 grams of caster sugar. So that's gone into there. I'm now going to stir these in together. So stir them to make a nice sort of paste. And it should stir fairly easily, so the kids can definitely get involved with this. So I'm stirring it all in. Brilliant, that's coming together nicely. What I've also done is I have grated some nutmeg, and I've also grated the zest of a lemon as well. So depending how old your little one is, depends on whether they can grate or not, but they can certainly do the mixing for us, which is great. So I've blended the milk and the sugar, the butter and the sugar together in there. So 250 grams butter, 160 grams caster sugar. I'm now going to put into there my lemon zest and also our nutmeg as well. I'm going to get a knife to move that over. So we pop that in, and those two things, even though it's only a small amount, really add to the flavour. They really do help with that. So I'm going to stir that in. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do is turn the oven on. So I'm going to put the oven on to fan, and I'm going to put it on to 180 degrees. So I'll do that now. Lovely. So that will be starting off. There we go. You can hear that just going off in the background. So we've popped in our butter, our sugar, our lemon zest and our nutmeg. Next up, we've got 300 grams of plain flour. So I'm going to pop that in. And I've also got 60 grams of currants, and I'll pop that in as well. Lovely, and I'll move these out of the way. I also want to put in a bit of salt, so generally half a teaspoon or a little shake of salt, absolutely fine. There we are. And I'm going to give this a really good stir. Oh dear. Get it all over me at the same time, that's fine. That's all part of it, isn't it? Getting involved, getting messy as well. And to this as well, what I've done is I've got a medium egg and I've separated it. So I've separated it into the yolk and also the egg white as well. So I've separated it into 2 different dishes. And what I'm going to add now is the egg yolk, so the yellow bit of the egg, into this mixture. So in it goes, lovely and yellow, packed filled with lots of really good things, vitamin D, vitamins. But I won't try and tell you how healthy these are, because they're not. They're a sweet treat, and sweet treats are absolutely fine to have, just making sure we have them sort of in moderation really. So let's give this a little stir, and hopefully this should form into some sort of dough-like texture. I've also got ready 2 baking trays with grease-proof paper on there, and I've got my cooling rack for later as well. So keep stirring, and if you need to use your hands to get it into more of a dough texture, please do so, not a problem. Lovely, this is looking good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to this is all clean. I've already managed to spill some flour on there, so that's good. I'm going to dot some flour out and about, and I'm going to take half the doughy mixture to start with, and just get that into a bit of a shape. So I've got half the doughy mixture, get it into a nice dough. Lovely. These are really nice, simple recipes to do at home. And then what I'm going to do, you can either pat it out, I've got a rolling pin there as well, to about 1/2 centimetre thickness. I've got my cutter, I'm going to pop that on now. And you can use a palette knife or use whatever you want to, really. I've actually got a cheese slice because our palette knife is a bit, not the easiest to use. So I've got that, I've cut that out now. I'm going to use my cheese slice, I'm going to move that over and pop it on the baking tray. Then what I'm going to do, once I've cut all of these out, is I'm going to put those 2 trays in the oven, fan 180. I'm going to do that for 7 minutes. After 7 minutes, I'm going to take it out of the oven, and I'm going to use the egg white here and my paintbrush. I'm going to glaze over the biscuits and put them back in the oven. That makes them go nice and brown, and then take them out the oven again. When you're glazing it, you might also want to sprinkle a bit of caster sugar over those biscuits as well before they go back in the oven for another 7 minutes, and then they're done. Once they're done, pop them on the cooling rack, allow them to cool, and then enjoy. So to recap this recipe then, what I've done, I've got a bowl and I've added to it 250 grams of unsalted butter and 160 grams of caster sugar. I've mixed those together. To that, I've then added some grated nutmeg, I've added the zest of a lemon, I've also added 300 grams of plain flour, a dash of salt or 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I've added the egg yolk as well. I've mixed that all in together to make a dough which I've rolled out to 1/2 centimetre thickness. I've then cut it out using my sort of 5-6 centimetre cutter. I've put that onto the baking trays, put it in the oven 180 for 7 minutes. After that time, I've taken it out, I've brushed it all in egg yolk and a sprinkling of caster sugar. I've put it back in the oven for another 7 minutes, then take it out, put it on a cooling rack, allow it to cool, and enjoy later on. So that's the summary of the Easter biscuit recipe, which I hope you enjoy.